against within his New World Order. You know, all the way to today, all the unjust judgments that is brought against our people, the way we're treated in these courts, the statistic the brother brought out.
And I gotta bring another precept.
This
is Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
Yep, you can get into it, bro.
Khan, just like the statistic we brought out earlier, a small percent of the population, but they're the ones mostly being falsely accused, man. So, that's another testament to show you that we are the Israelites, because we're in these prison houses. Also, look at the Northern Kingdom. They're getting thrown in what? Concentration camps.
Exactly.
You see? So you got ICE out here. I saw a video. They ran over this dude's leg in broad daylight. Dude's screaming. And they grab him and throw him into the back of a car. You see? So our people are just, like it says here, man, snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. It says they are for a prey, and none deliver it, for a spoil, and none say it restore.
Yeah, none say it restore. We just gotta go through it. Ain't nobody, coming to the help of Jake, because we under Esau's power, and he's gonna exercise his power at the end of the day. Who's gonna come against Esau and say, you need to take them out of these prison houses? You need to give them, they just right. You have people who try to come up and what you call them, like your civil activists and things of the sort. But at the end of the day, the only one that can redeem us from the condition that we're in is our Lord, Yahweh Shai. He is our Redeemer, But so we can get back to that second Ezra chapter 7, unless y'all brothers had any precepts.
Yeah, I had a quick one. Okay. It's Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
Yeah, you can get into it.
Well, yeah, just going off of how we have to wait for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to, taking things into our own hands or looking for some type of, but pretty much looking for Esau to reimburse. We looking for the Lord.
Well, yeah, and then Slaki.
No, that was it.
Well, yeah, you got some Jakes that get into the mindset that we do have to take, our so-called liberation into our own hands. You have Jake ready to bear arms or try to come up with some type of militia or try to find some type of sovereignty on this side, and that would never work. Because no matter what we try to set up, it's going to be quenched because it's of men. It's not of the Lord's will. The Lord's will is that we wait upon the only begotten Son, and He is going to make things right. He is going to bring this wicked rulership down. We don't have the power to bring Esau down. Not in our current estate. The Lord is going to have to raise us up, and fight for us.
Make a quick point. Yeah, because ultimately the Lord is the one who set up Esau in the first place, because we went off. So the Lord is the one who raised him up, because the scriptures say that the Lord raises up the basis of men, roughly paraphrasing. So, the reason these cave dwellers even have a kingdom is the Lord. They couldn't do that on their own. And that's why the scriptures say here in Deuteronomy 28:49, it says, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far. So it was ultimately the Lord who brought us in captivity, and the Lord who's going to take us out of captivity.
Come. So we can get back to that second Ezra.
This is second Ezra chapter 7 and verse 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time.
The day, go ahead.
And the beginning of the immortality for to come.
Right. It says the day of doom should be the end of this time, where this time is full of corruption, wickedness, and this place is this is the valley of the shadow of death. But it says that what did it say about the immortality?
It says, and the beginning of the immortality for to come.
Right. That's why we look forward to the day of doom, because as this place is destroyed, that is the ushering in of the immortality to come. That's the ushering in of our glory. That's the ushering in of our kingdom. And why is there immortality in the time to come? Because in the time to come, which is going to be ruled by the nation of Israel, we're going to be under that second covenant. We're going to be all righteous. The kingdom that is going to be established under our rule is going to be in a complete 100% righteousness. You know, can we grab Hebrews chapter 8, I believe verse 11? Or we can start at verse 10. Yes.
This is Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 10. It says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people."
Right, and this is what we are patiently awaiting upon. The elect will be the first fruits of the kingdom and the first fruits of this second covenant, where it says what? That the laws will be written in their inward parts. And what that means is that, you know, upon salvation, the elect will receive new bodies where they will just be unable to sin. They will be unable to go off. And what did the scriptures say what sin is? It says sin is the wages of sin is the transgression of the law. But it also says that the wages of sin is death. So within the second covenant, if we are unable to sin, that means that we are unable to die. That's immortality. And we're talking about perfect immortal beings that are going to be the governing bodies over the world. That means that that goes into what? 2 Peter 3:13, where it says we look for a new heavens and a new earth, where this current rulership, Esau, the basis of men, that vile man, he's going to be taken down. And the different destructive ways that he's ruling over this world is going to be wiped out. And you're going to have righteous leaders that is going to be doing good for this world, replenishing this earth, bringing it back to its perfect state. You know, did y'all brothers have some?
So yeah, like the brother's saying, we're gonna get the good part of the covenant, you know, which is that blessing. And just bringing it up is Deuteronomy 20:1. It says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth."
Exactly. He was going to set us on high above all nations upon the earth. And there was a time where we was on point with the covenant. There was a time when we was ruling, where you had them 40 years of peace when King Solomon was the king, and we was all good, you know. But the thing is, the problem with the first covenant was that it was imperfect. The reason why is that there wasn't an issue with the law. There was an issue with us, because we couldn't keep the law perfectly, because we are in these imperfect bodies. These bodies are subject to sin. These bodies are at some point going to go off, you know. And so you had some?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, some brothers just sent through. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 7. It says, "The Lord Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich; he bringeth low and lifteth up."
Hey, and that's the thing. The Lord has brought us low, but there's going to be a time where the Lord is going to bring us up. But it's all in the Most High's power. You know, it's not because of the will of man that Esau just came up and he, you know, he received the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, and was on and has been brought on top of the world and just conquered us and put us on the bottom. The Lord allowed him to do that, you know, and the Lord is going to allow that reversal. You know, so that's the thing. Going back to what I was saying with the first covenant, it was imperfect because of us. So within the second covenant that we are about to be put in, the Lord is going to make us perfect so that we can, you know, mesh with the law. The Lord is going to, you know, impart us to be able to keep the law in 100% perfection. You know, so did you have something? Or was that?
John, quick precept about, you know, how these Edomites were given the kingdom. You know, they didn't do it on their own. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verse 39. It says, "Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts whom I made to reign in my world?"
Yeah, that's the thing. The scriptures prophesied that there would be that there would be 4 kingdoms that would rule over this world. You had the Babylonian Empire that would rise up, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, and then the Roman Empire. And we are living in the second coming of the Roman Empire, America. You know, with NATO and EU ruling over this world. But it's the Lord that set them up.
God. That the end of their times might come through them.
It's like, can you read that again?
God. From the beginning?
Yeah, let's read it from the beginning.
2 Ezra 11:39, it says, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
God, you can get into it.
Khan, so just showing you that Esau is the end of the world, because it's going to be through the revival of the Roman Empire, which is America, that Yahushua is going to come. He's going to come during this time.
Yep.
So this is it, man. Like 2nd Ezra, I believe, where it talks about Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Exactly. And when you go into Daniel chapter 2, when it talks about the that statue, where it talks about the progression of the statue, the head of gold, chest of silver, the thighs of brass, the legs of iron, and then the feet were iron and miry clay. That's that progression of them four empires that I named. But then you get to the bottom, the feet mixed with iron and clay, that partly weak and partly strong kingdom, the NATO and EU, led by America. That's what we're in right now. But it says that a stone would come and break the feet, which would break that whole image. And then that stone would be established and turned into a mountain. And that would be the rulership. And what that's talking about is our Lord Yahushua coming to take down this kingdom. You know? And that's what we're waiting upon. Like the brother said, that is what's coming next. And that's going to happen in this lifetime. You have people, you have Israelites that say, oh, we don't know when that time is going to come. You had Alazar say it could be another 1,000 years from now. He's speaking hypothetically, you know, but we're looking for the next couple of years. We're looking for the end to come as soon as possible. The scriptures say to hasten to flee these times. You know?
Yes, a quick precept. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 15. It says, and the seventh angel sounded, I'm going to 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
The third woe cometh quickly. Not that the second woe is past, and then we don't know when the third woe going to come in. It'll come when it comes. No, there's a spirit that the scriptures constantly push of hastening. The third woe cometh quickly. It says in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 that can we grab that real fast? Because it talks about it tearing, but it says it will surely come, it will not tear. No, we can grab it. You said what?
I still got that.
You can drop it. Okay. You got the Habakkuk? Okay, no, that's all good. Just brother can grab it. No, you got it.
Habakkuk.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
This Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time.
The vision is yet for an appointed time. You know, the vision is these prophecies. There will be an appointed time for these prophecies to come to pass. As we know.
But at the end, it shall speak and not lie.
Which means that these prophecies, these words that we read in these scriptures, were going to start to come to pass before our very eyes. The prophecy of World War III is coming to pass before our very eyes. The prophecy of the MOTB, we see Esau getting his infrastructure together to establish that in the earth, right before our very eyes. The instability that's coming to this wicked place, America. You know, people, Egyptian rising against Egyptian. You know, sedition among men. You know, all these different things. Earthquakes upon this earth. These things are happening right before our very eyes.
It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
And that word tarry means to wait or be slack, you know, or be slow. Now the thing is, to our perspective, these things may be happening slow because we experience these, you know, the year after year, and we have to go through all these months and things of the sort. But it says what? That it would not tarry. The scriptures say that the day of the Lord shall come like a thief in the night. It's a lot of people are going to get into a mindset, people who know about these scriptures and know about these prophecies, they're going to get into a mindset that, man, this stuff taking too long. And all of a sudden, things just going to start happening. And it's happening right now. You know, but the scriptures say that the day should be shortened for the elect's sake in Matthew 24 and 22. There's going to come a time to where prophecies is just popping off the page at a quick rate, even faster than right now. You know, and before you know it, the mercy door is going to be shut. Because this is the time to take hold unto the grace that Yahweh Shai has allowed for our nation, so that we may be protected in these times to come, in the times of Jacob's trouble, you know. But before you know it, boom, we just gonna be in it, and it's either you're on the Most High side or you not. You know, you on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai side or you not. You know.
I got a quick precept. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Yeah, the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Is there more to it?
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Right. When these world leaders say peace and safety, when they sitting down trying to have peace talks and ceasefire agreements, when you have so-called leaders amongst the nation of Israel, these people saying, "Oh, we don't know when the end gonna come," you know, it could be this much amount of time. What does it say when they say so peace and safety?
Then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Then things pop off. Then things start to happen. You know. So
yeah, kind of like you had mentioned, brought the precept of Habakkuk. You know, it's the visions.
Yeah.
You know, the visions is how we understand it. If I may, real quick, precept. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently within itself.
Yep.
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
So it says, measure thou the time. And how do you measure the time? You measure it by the prophecies. When something happens, you know, oh, we got to be close to the end. When we see, man, I like this. I get so excited when I think about it, because there was a statistic where they said as of, I can't remember, they said 2024. Yeah, it was 2024. They said as of 2024, over 80% of transactions in stores were digital. That's because we're moving away from cash. And you have to move away from cash to fulfill the prophecy in Revelation 13, where it talks about you should not be able to buy or sell unless you have that mark, because that's going to be a digital system. There ain't going to be no cash when you get into the system of the MOTB. But when you hear something like that, that should show you, man, we getting close. When you hear Esau is pouring billions and billions of dollars into AI infrastructure, that should show you, oh, we close. We're measuring the times. We're looking at these different things that's going on between these different countries. Hey, look at what's going on between America and Venezuela right now. I just saw a headline on my way here to camp. They said America is after they looking to seize their third oil tanker from Venezuela currently. And the thing is, why does that stand out? You have America constantly fucking with Venezuela. Now, who's at the protection of Venezuela? Who has openly said on a global stage that they're on Venezuela's side? Russia and China. These are people who do deals with Venezuela to get oil from them. These are people who condemn America's actions of them, you know, being in that Habakkuk 2 and 5 spirit of enlarging their desire as hell, of being in business they don't got no business being in. You know, and the scriptures say that Russia will be a guard unto these different nations. Now, it names nations, and Venezuela isn't named among them, but it says, after it names the specifics, such as Iran, you know, Libya, Ethiopia, after it names them, it says, and many people with thee, which means that there will be more that weren't named. So when we look at Venezuela, and Russia is saying that America is making a fatal mistake by messing with Venezuela, that's them showing that they're going to be a guard. When Russia is saying that we'll send y'all military equipment so that you can protect yourself from America, Russia is going to be a guard. Russia has a whole war going on at their borders against Ukraine, but they are still coming out and saying, speaking on something that's on another side of the world. You know, that's because the Lord got the spirit in them so that they could be that guard. You know,
Can I read something? Yeah,
sure.
So this is an AI overview. It says Russia is the primary supplier of advanced military hardware to Venezuela, with long-standing military and economic ties dating back to Hugo Chavez.
Yeah, and the thing is, we understand that Russia is going to be the main country that comes against America and shoots missiles over here, that brings war against the U.S. Yeah. Now, all these different countries that have this military power, they're going to shoot their missiles, but Russia is going to be that main enemy. You know? Go ahead.
Just a little bit more, just a little bit. It says, providing fighter jets, helicopters, air defense systems, and submarines, while China supplies surveillance tech and military-grade gear, and Iran provides fast attack crafts and drones, all supporting the Maduro government against the U.S. pressure.
They said Russia, China, and Iran. You know? And then you got America messing with Iran, blowing up their nuclear facilities. Now, while that has died down since then, people don't forget that. People see Israel in a war with Iranian forces, with Hamas, and who is backed by who? Russia. Who's backing Israel? America. There's a line being drawn. People are choosing sides, and we see the pieces being put so that World War III may come about. You know?
John, this is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country.
The north country. What's the northmost country in this world? Russia. You know? So it says that north country is going to come against Babylon to bring war. You know, it says that you grab Isaiah chapter 13, I believe verse 17, where it talks about the Medes. Or we can go up to, keep going? Verse 17.
This is the book of Isaiah 13. In verse 17, it says, Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Right, and the Medes is talking about Russia. Now, this chapter is a prophetic chapter against Babylon, and America is the modern day Babylon, the land of confusion. You know, America is Babylon the Great, and it says the Medes will be stirred up against Babylon. And it says that they should not regard silver nor gold, which means that there's no trade agreement that's going to be able to be made to make peace. There's no diplomatic solution to these global problems that are arising. The Lord is putting the leader of Russia in a mindset to where he's just going forward with war. We look at the situation with Ukraine, and Putin has said he has no intentions to back down. He's going to do what he's going to do. You know, he's going to go forward. And so the Lord has that spirit in him to harden his heart to be in a warlike mindset. And that's China is going to be putting that mindset. Iran is going to be putting that mindset. America is in that mindset. We see Trump has changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. He's talking about he wants to make peace through war, which is a fucking oxymoron. You know, but the Lord got him in that spirit to go forward with these things. These small hats in Israel with they murderous cells.
Gaza. And they also just passed laws, you know, where those who speak out against the small hats could face getting terminated from their job, getting arrested, going to prison. They're even putting people's faces on this website saying these are the anti-Sems of the day.
Man, and the reason why they're doing that is because they're shameful spewing upon their glory. Everybody sees these small hats, these Amalekites, and the wickedness that they're doing. And so instead of taking accountability, instead of owning up for their actions, what they do? Oh, y'all calling us out for the evil that we do? Well, we're going to criminalize you for that. We're going to silence you, and we're going to bring a punishment against you for it. What kind of shit? Man, these people is wicked, bro.
Yeah, they got to go.
You got some? Yeah, so, but, you know, just speaking about the different things, like, that's bringing about World War III. We see the pieces being made that the day of doom is approaching. You know, very soon these leaders just gonna throw caution to the wind. They just gonna say, forget it and push their buttons because the Lord is gonna put it in their spirit to do so.
Yep. This is Jeremiah 50 and the rest of verse 9. It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain.
So those arrows are representative of the missiles, because we have to keep in mind when we read about these different prophecies, and these prophets was writing these things down. They didn't have language like ICBM. They didn't have language like missile or all these things that we know today. They saw these visions and they wrote them down the best way that they could explain them. So when they seen a missile, they used the term arrow, or they use glistening sword, and these different language. But the Lord has allowed the Holy Spirit to dwell with us today, that we would be able to read these words and be like, oh, this is what they was talking about.
It's Colossians chapter 1 verse 26. It says, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints.
Now has been made manifest to his saints, which his saints is speaking about the Israelites, but you have an elect amongst the nation of Israel that would have that eye salve, because it's not given to our whole nation to understand this this book, so the mystery has been revealed. So now we're able, like I was mentioning, we're able to read these scriptures and understand what was being spoken about. So it says that the arrows are going to be shot over here and they shall not return. Just like when you shoot an ICBM, once you hit that button and that missile is shot, there is no contingency where you can be like, okay, well, actually, I changed my mind. Let me send that missile back to the missile silo. Nah. Once it's shot, it's going to its target. Got some
saying just like a regular arrow. You can't even. Once you let them fingers go, it's gone. Ain't no hold up. Not yet. It's you know what I'm saying.
I got that. You ever say something?
You can go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 16. I started 15. It says, the fire is kindled and should not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
Can we start at verse 14, Baba Shah?
Okay. It's verse 14. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
What are those plagues speaking about? That's the destruction that's going to come over here to America. Those plagues talking about the missiles, and it says that they shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Once they're going to hit America and bring that destruction. Now, what does it say in verse 15?
It says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
Right, because this place is going to be consumed by a great fire. That's how America is going to be wiped off the map by that thermonuclear fire. And it says until it consumed the foundation of the earth. Everything that you look at in this place, America, is going to be wiped away. The scriptures give the imagery when the elect are saved and they're in the chariots looking down, that they seen a sea of glass mingled with fire, or a sea of fire a sea of glass mingled with fire. And that's because they're looking down at all the different buildings all across this country, all the different structures and all these things destroyed and on fire. It is going to burn and burn for a very long time as a monument of the judgment of wickedness,
It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
Exactly. And the scriptures say that all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. So Russia is going to be one of the main agents used to bring war against Babylon the Great. But can we look at what countries hold nuclear capability, Baba Shah? Because it's not just Russia,
Khan, this is the AI overview. It says the United States, Russia, China, France, United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea.
Right. So America and Israel is going to be wiped off the face of this earth. America is not going to ever be inhabited again, but Israel will be built back up because that is our true habitation.
Yeah, I'm about to say, not necessarily wiped off the face of the earth, but definitely destroyed. You know, definitely destroyed because it has to be a cleansing. The brothers brought out the numbers earlier. There's blood on this land and blood on that land that has to be judged, man. That the land has to be cleansed by the blood of those who did what they did. You know, and as he said, this land will not be inhabited once ever again, which is crazy because at a point in time, this was known as the New World. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was inhabiting. Solomon was coming over here and things of that nature where his navy was. For this to be a land that never was inhabited and then it started to be inhabited to where all of this wickedness has grown from this land. And the Lord like, yeah, we just gonna discontinue that whole hemisphere over there. We just gonna leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Well, at least this continent, I would say. You know? Most definitely, but it just shows how wicked this place is, man. From a place that was innocent and clean to a place that's literally full of wickedness, and that spreads abroad, man. All right, to where America is the rulership because it's the military power of NATO and the EU. All right, and we already know how America get down, man. Okay, that's why there's a video showing the same steps that was taken, the same wording in interviews when the Iraq situation was going on is the same wording and the same steps that's been taken with the Venezuela situation. And at the end of the day, it's all about resources, as we know. All right? And that's just how America does. And as the brother was going into, it's the Lord that's allowing these things to happen. A lot of these nations aren't saying too much of nothing now, you know, but those tensions is only going to increase, man. All right? Because you got to think, after a while, people just get tired of the bully, man. It's like, man, let's just whoop his ass. Why we going to let him, you know? Like, shoot, he keeping us divided and whooping on us, you know, by itself. Why don't we just go jump that motherfucker?
Well, hey, you had at that it was very symbolic to me that you had at this World Council. They had a vote on which countries saw Palestine as a state and which didn't. And majority of the world was on the side of Palestine. You had just a few countries, America and Israel included, of the very few, that was like, nah, we don't recognize them, which is showing that they picking a side, like, nah, bro, we not with y'all, you know, and you know, like the brother brought out, all these countries that hold this nuclear power, they're all gonna be shooting their missiles over here, you know, and
let me go ahead.
You know, and that's what the scriptures talk about, that when it says, let the weak say I am strong. You know, because they got some heavy hitting power. You know?
And, so I looked up on Google how much could a modern ICBM, how much destruction would it cause? It says an ICBM with an average of 3,600 kilograms HE payload would create an explosive damage radius of up to 1.47 kilometers.
Okay.
In an urban center, there could be up to 188,564 casualties in the affected area.
So how big is that? Be like what? Like a city like can we look up what kind of like?
Yeah, look up what country size or something like that.
Yeah, like what state or something. Yeah,
I think they be saying like state of Texas.
Damn, for one.
That's just what I heard. I ain't never had one, you know.
Right, I ain't never had one.
But I mean, yeah. Let's look it up though. But while he getting that, go ahead. I'll let you get it if you got it.
It says a single large nuclear weapon could effectively destroy very small countries such as Monaco, San or Luxembourg by covering the entire land area with the immediate blast and fire effects.
But that's just one, though.
Yeah.
That's just one. And we talking about the whole artillery. Yeah. All they missiles that's in the silos, all they long-range missiles, all these submarine, underwater missiles, everything is being shot over here.
Let's say 200,000 warheads, so it's like, see how much can one warhead take out?
200,000.
Russian missiles are
powerful. Yeah, 200,000. Yeah. What's that?
200 million, huh?
200.
Because you got to keep in mind the missiles. You got the missile, but then you got all the warheads in the missile. You know.
You sound like somebody walking up. Got it. Why he getting this? Why he getting that? Who that? I don't know. Got a dark team. The brothers was going into which countries, got nuclear capability. Now I wanted to get something because this is the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, right? Which it says the 5 recognized nuclear weapon states are the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom, defined as countries that manufactured and tested nuclear weapons before January 1st of 1967, with other members agreeing not to develop them. These 5 nations hold special status and commit to eventual disarmament, while non-nuclear states pledge to forego acquiring them, forming the treaty's core framework for limiting proliferation. Through some non-proliferation treaty states like India, Israel, and Pakistan possess nuclear weapons. So, because they had the treaty, it's like, all right, well, we ain't gonna develop anymore. We're gonna disarm them. And you could get into the treaty a little bit more, but the thing is, Israel never signed it. Israel's just like, hey, what? I ain't gotta sign that. Pretty much, Just like the peace treaty, they were over there with the Pakistanis over in Gaza. All right, let's sign it. Well, they didn't even show up. They sent somebody else. Oh boy, didn't show up. If I'm not mistaken, he sent somebody. Whoa, he sent somebody else on his behalf. Whoa,
that's
wow. Whoa.
I was looking down at my phone.
Yeah. You didn't hear it?
I heard. I was like,
I thought it sounded like a lady.
Exactly. Nigga, that's a dude.
That's a man.
Hey, it's crazy because that just shows you the confusion. That's part of the fire.
Yeah.
That's Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Sodom and Gomorrah was wiped out for that very reason. Now, I was watching this video. To be respectful, so we don't get flagged or anything, there was a young lady dominating in women's sports.
Oh.
It's a young lady, y'all, dominating in sports, talking about she jumps 8 times farther than all the rest of them and everything, if you get my drift. And it was a guy in the crowd like, yo, that's a boy. Yo, hey, that's a boy. That's not even fair. And it's like, that's not even fair. You gotta, and this is where we're at in this society. People don't understand why the Lord has to do what he has to do. Because there wouldn't be any flesh saved. This motherfucker rolling up talking about, hey, like, come on, man. And then laugh about it, because I was sitting here thinking earlier, there's a video. Now, give me all that in Sirach about the beauty of a woman. Give me that, and then give me about in Revelations about the harlot dressed in scarlet. Boy, ooh, that's a lesson. I got it. You got it? Stumble not at the beauty of a woman or something like that?
Yeah, this Sirach or Ecclesiasticus.
Multiple ones?
It's Sirach 25, verse 21. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure.
There you go. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. Now, I was looking at this video, and I seen the title. That's why I clicked on it. But as I was watching the video, I'm like, damn, this bitch is bad. She's like bad as hell. But on the video, you know, for educational purposes only, it says Selena Powell speaks on how she did this and this with the rapper, Snoop Dogg. She did this and she did that and this to 50 Cent, and how she did this with this person, that person. And this just is a 3-minute clip of the whole interview, and all of these names is being dropped, and I'm just listening, and I'm like, these women have no shame, and that's what the society lacks. Is there is no shame. Where there ain't no shame, there's no conviction, there's no guilt, so there's no reason or meaning to make any change. So, and she's just on there comfortably talking about her life. There was another video of a woman talking about, if you don't got at least 25 bodies as a woman, then you don't know what you're doing in the bedroom.
What the fuck, bro?
At least 25? Her original number was 50 to 100.
How does that mean you don't know what you're doing? Why can't you know what you're doing with one person 25 times? Like, I don't know.
That one, and this is the order, man. This is the can y'all grab that? Grab Ecclesiastes, not Ecclesiastes. I don't know why. Maybe I need to read that. Job 10 and 22. But like I said, I'm looking at her like, man, this bitch is bad. And then she just going into all of this story about how she did this with that person and did this and did that, and that's what it is. At the end of the day, this is not our rest. This ain't our society to get comfortable in and to have the best of everything and have the baddest woman and the, the Lord bless you, the Lord bless you. It is what it is. But overall, shit, we in captivity. We have to deal with shameless women. We got to deal with our women being harlots in the city. We got to deal with even the men, going after every woman they see. They don't care if she's, married according to our laws or married according to the laws of the land, And there is no shame in this land. Call all y'all shot 144. There's no shame, man. All right, there's none of that. Everybody just do what they want to do. There's no shame to the point where people don't even want to fucking communicate, man. Like, and I'll be honest, a little personal. I was dealing with my little ones and shit, and my boys. I'm at the point where I'm gonna make y'all learn how to communicate, Because you're just going to be doing things. You think you can just go through life and just go and just la, 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 and everything. No, it doesn't work like that, man. Because that's part of what's wrong with society. Nobody wants to communicate. All right? Everybody want to talk how they want to talk and don't want to be talked to this way or that way. And you don't get nothing done that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the store earlier. I told my woman something. Little Edomite woman, she tried to hit the corner and look all sneakily. I said, yeah, I said it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, let me chill out. My spirit got a hype today. But it's like, don't worry about what I'm telling my woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, fuck out of here. But that's the grievousness that we gotta behold. There's no order in this place. Matter of fact, you got the whoever got that Job?
Yeah, I got the Job. It's, Job chapter 10, verse 22. It says, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
Yeah, and ultimately this is speaking about death itself, But this is the shadow of death. America is, It said, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death. This is that low place of death. There's nothing to be praised in this place, man. Nothing to be uplifted. Like, what is there? There is nothing. You got all of these people complaining, showing videos of rubbery food and fruits and shit. What you gonna do about it? You know, go get your money back. But that's just me saying that. But it's that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with rubbery watermelon. You know, ain't no juice coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we doing here? You know, I don't know if we went over that on the highways or not. When we were speaking about how many hamburgers McDonald's sells a day.
No, I think we were just talking about each other.
But we looked up some numbers. Yeah. They sell a certain amount of hamburgers. It's like there's no way that there's that many cows in the world. Yeah. Especially with hundreds of cows, you know, dying off over the past 5 years.
And that was just McDonald's.
That's just McDonald's. McDonald's ain't selling burgers to Wendy's and Burger King to, you know.
And then we got grocery stores selling ground beef.
You got restaurants, you know what I'm saying? You got people, like, there's no way.
This shit is a mess, bro.
You know, there's no way. So that's the society that they're preparing. They always was, you know, you constantly heard about 2030, 2030, 2030. That doesn't mean that it's, we got 4 more years, dog. Like, nah. They bringing this in right now. It is about to be fucking Christmas on Thursday. It was just Thanksgiving a week ago. I'm serious. It was just a week ago, bro. God. Like, bro, like, this is the Lord. Like, the Lord mean what he say. His word doesn't go out void. The prophecies that's written in here are coming to pass, or have came to pass, or happening. Right here, right now, man.
If I make a point, because that's the thing. The days are being shortened, but the scripture says it was for the elect's sake. Because if they wasn't shortened, no flesh would be saved. Esau is not only morally, ethically driving people into the ground, but he's driving
physically,
driving this earth into the ground.
You have young people talking about their back hurts. I'm talking about like 20, 21, 25. That's young to me, because at that age, I was still hooping at that age. Balling the fuck out. Bro, you know, I wasn't really complaining about no pain. You know what I'm saying? None of that. But years later, this is what you have, because and that's why I don't necessarily be complaining, but I be speaking on it to older people, and they like, oh man, you young. I'm like, y'all gotta understand, the food that y'all ate ain't the food that we eat. Y'all have more nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. That's the same food that they kind of fed us. But as we got older, that food changed.
They started adding a bunch of ingredients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They it was like 5. They were showing the ingredients and certain things of what it was and what it is now. And it's like, why are you adding all this other shit? It was good how it was, man.
Yeah.
You know? I was just going into how bacon is processed, and it's talking about the curing process of it, and which is salt in it, and it's just basically the stages of preserving it. It's not like fresh meat, you know. And that's what they do. That's what, to these deli meats, and you know, I'm at the point where I'm not comfortable eating hot dogs no more, you know. You know, not because of the glizzy era, but no, it's just, man, I was eating one day and I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, it felt like a bit of gristle, and that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's not no hot.
You know, that's not supposed to happen. So it's like, well, to hell with that. You know, I'll do it out.
There was a trend. There's a recent trend where you got teenagers that are picking a death date. That they pick a certain date for once that day comes for them to delete themselves. And the fact that you have the young generation that like in that mindset to where they like, man, I don't even want to live no more. I'm about to just pick a day. I'm about to get my affairs in order and just Esau. This is Esau's world that's putting
what is it called? A what day?
Like a death day or something like that. Maybe that's not the name, but it's something, you know, like how could this is Esau's society that's pushing people to that state, depression on an all-time high. Like people, loneliness at an all-time high. People,
Yeah.
you know, because Esau got these women in the mindset that you gotta pay me before you get to talk to me.
Hey,
like what kind of shit?
Corey Holcomb said, I got everything. I got everything to get 70% of the women in I don't know if he said America or the world. He said, I got $200.
Just straight to it.
You know, but that's what it is. It's like, because that's all that they after. That's all that they chasing, and they really care about for the most part, man. It's just money. You know, now, like now it's to the point where it ain't even really, they want their own money. Like, they actually want their own money, you know? They say they want a man with this type of money and that money. They cool with that too, but they still want to have their own money, regardless. But then all in all, I was watching this interview. I forget the guy's name, but he like an old bald black dude. He be doing interviews and stuff, and he never get hyped. I never seen him get hyped at all in his interviews. And he was, you know, speaking to a lady. She got degrees, and she just contradicting herself within the whole interview to me. And that be the annoying part, when people just saying shit. Like, just like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? You just saying whatever just to not be wrong. That is just annoying. But she just pretty much was saying how women are the, basically that they the breadwinners and shit, you know? And it's like, y'all really don't understand. If all men just decided to chill the hell out,
shit would stop running, bro.
It would literally stop, bro. Like, there are certain jobs that women just don't do and won't do. You can do it. You can go wrestle a fucking bear. But if me and you in the fucking woods, you're not going to take that chance. I have to take that chance. That's just have to be my role. So you can't talk about 50-50. You might can lift 135 pounds to warm up. And me too. But, like, what you need to do it for, really? Like, you know?
But Esau is put that to where it's like, y'all equal. You can do just as much as a man can do and better.
Well, we know that. It's just the annoyance of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to deal with, because we already here. You know, all four of us can go make a separate video about it, but it's not going to change one woman mind, who might think like that for the most part. But this is what I'm saying. This is why the Lord has to bring that fire.
Yeah.
There has to be a cleansing. All right? There has to be. There's no turning back. You know, can we get that in Sirach 4? There's no damn, buddy. Look, you all in the other lane. All you gotta do is pull over. You know? That boy, he drifted.
Slack, what you want in Sirach
4:26. Okay.
This Sirach chapter 4, verse 26.
Not Sirach, second Ezra.
Okay. This is second Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel.
The more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. Why is that? Because the more you read these scriptures, the more you read books and read into the history, read into the laws and the bills that they pass and the legislations, even the fucking terms and conditions of the iPhone. It tell you to have the phone a certain distance from your head because it can cause radioactive frequencies or whatever the hell. It's like, well, nigga, why we got it? Yeah. You know, you should be, instead of selling a fucking phone with a cord, with a charger, without a box, you should be selling the phone with a damn with some AirPods, nigga. But shit, even within that, you got the damn Bluetooth, you know? So it's like things are convenient and, you know, easier, better, whatever. But at the end of the day, it leads to destroying you slowly. It kills you, killing you softly, man. That's what this society does. It kills us softly, you know? Because it's not our rest. It is polluted. It will what is that, destroy you with an utter destruction or something to that effect?
Gosh, surely. It says, for the world hasted fast to pass away.
Why? Time is speeding up. Flesh wouldn't there would be no flesh saved. The Lord got them speeding up their plans, man. It's just that time. You know, for a minute things seem stagnant. You know, because on my way down, I know y'all went into the though it tarry, wait for it. You know, for it shall surely come, it will not tarry.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was Thanksgiving last week. Like, I really feel like that. It's crazy. You know, but even people who are not into the scriptures is like, man, the time is flying. Time is going by fast. They realize we looking forward to it. We know of it, but they realizing it as well. You know?
So it cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time.
Can you read that pace fast again?
Okay. It says, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world hasted fast to pass away.
Yeah. Just everything been decayed. Everything been decayed. You got the food. You got the music. The music is horrible. They what they said, this is the first time in 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, that there hasn't been a hip hop or R&B song or a hip hop song, I believe, in the top 40 on the billboards. You know, that's because the shit that they just rolled past listening to, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
That nigga rolled the window down and started banging on it. He rolled the window back up, bro. This shit's degenerate as hell.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, good. You know, I'm at the point where good, bro. It's to hell with it. You know? That's why I said, pray not for these people. Like, then what? I can tell you, hey, man, that ain't good, man. We got to come together and unite. Fuck you, bitch ass nigga. Like,
bang on us even harder.
That will be the response.
Yeah, for real.
It's just a degenerate generation, man. Like the scripture speak about a degenerate plant. You know?
It says it cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come.
Go ahead.
For this world is full of unrighteousness. It says it cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come.
So what's promised? The kingdom, salvation, new bodies, new heaven, new earth, many mansions, all right? Peace, new covenant, righteousness throughout the earth. This is the things that are promised to the righteous, but the world can't comprehend that. That's why he ride past banging on it. That's why his cousin rolled by talking about, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous. They're not looking forward to those things. They just worry about a regular old Sunday, you know. It ain't 18 degrees outside, so let's ride. Let's ride with the window down. Let's ride your window down, man. Put your window up. Put some tin on that, man.
I got a precept for it.
Go ahead.
This is Revelation 22:11. It says, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
Yep. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. There ain't no saving the ones who don't want to be saved. That's just how we the Lord already told us. He has shut their eyes and shut their ears. You can grab it. You know?
It says, sorry, I thought I could find it fashion.
Isaiah 6 and 9.
God. This Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. It says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not.
Hear ye indeed, but understand not. Because you need understanding when you hear these words. It's not just like, I hear what y'all talking about. Like, you got to actually understand. But they can't comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous. Go ahead.
And see ye indeed, but perceive not.
Yeah. They see us out here. You rather bang on us like, what the fuck y'all doing? You don't even want to ask that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw my hood up at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all got dresses on? These ain't dresses. These is garments. You know, biblically, boom, boom, boom. But people just don't care. Go ahead.
Make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy, and and shut their eyes.
Yeah, so don't allow them to receive anything. You know? Go ahead.
Lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed.
And convert and be healed. Because the whole head is sick. Right? Our nation is sick, man. Mentally sick, spiritually sick, physically sick, emotionally sick. Everything. All of that. But this word gives you guidance. The Spirit gives guidance. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai gives guidance. Give hope, man. That's why Paul said we're prisoners of hope. We're locked in, man. Ain't nothing else. There is no other way. They talking about stop. You politicians, stop talking about reparations. Y'all can shut that up your platoon. No, like it's like, okay, you're gonna get reparations, right? And I just always think of the Dave Chappelle skit. That's what it's gonna be. Everybody gonna go buy big rims, new cars. They ain't gonna pay off the car that they have. They're gonna trade that in and get a better car, a newer car. You know, because our people are sick in the head. They do not know how to manage life. They don't. And when they do, when they get in a place of a level of success, they don't know how to handle it. That's all they care about, is what they took to get there, man. They don't care about the Lord at that point. You think Jay-Z about to, probably a little too late for that. But you think they about to give any of that up to teach this word, man? Hell no. They too comfortable. They receive their consolation.
It's Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Salaki, did you finish that other one?
Isaiah? Oh, sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead, get that, Kawashara.
Hosea 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
There you go. You reject the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Lord, so he's going to reject you. All right? I sent my men, you didn't listen. I reached out my hand, you drew yours back. You know? So because you rejected knowledge, the Lord's going to reject you. Like, yeah, things are okay, you know, but people are starting to feel it. That's how I look at it. At a point in time, they was hearing these words, and they just like, whatever. But now your Christmas ain't white. Your turkey was dry. Halloween bag ain't had no candy. Oh, New Year's. There's certain events not even happening this year due to public safety issues. Because they over, what's that? I'm thinking over in France somewhere. They normally do like a live concert. They was like, nah, hey, this year we ain't gonna do a live concert, sir. We're gonna give you a pre-recorded session. It's like, what is that about? You know? So all of this energy that people put into these holidays and put into this world and all of that, the world hastens fast to pass away, man. You know? It hastens fast to pass away. So we should understand that we're blessed to be able to see what they can't see. Blessed to be able to understand what they can't hear. Blessed to be able to be in this truth, man, and to know Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Doesn't mean that don't come with responsibility of his own, because it say to whom much is given, much is required. You know? Go ahead.
Revelation 22:11 again.
What's that?
Would he that is unjust be unjust?
Oh yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yep, go ahead.
Revelation 22:11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still.
Yep.
And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. He that is holy, let him be holy still.
Yeah, that's picking a side. I'm not about to drag you over here. It's just like Moses. When you read in Exodus 32, he came down off the mount, had the tablets. Like, what the hell y'all doing? Oh man, you taking too long, man. We had to get it in. Like, you just gotta picture Jake. Like, well, shit, we can't touch the mount. You went up there. You up there 40 days. You know, we down here. Aaron, he hooked us up with this calf, man. All right, whatever. And whoever gonna serve the Lord, come on this side. Whoever ain't, go on that side. I'm going over there. Yeah, you know, they mumbling and shit. Whoever going this side, go. Hey, all of y'all on this side, go and slay them, man. Simple as that. You know? So whoever is unjust, let them be unjust, and whoever is holy, let them be holy. You know, just summing it up. Because at the end of the day, we can't remember. We can plant, we can water, but it's the Most High who gives the increase. You know, you can pour this word into somebody all you want. You can pour it all you want into a heathen. Ain't no heathen camps. These niggas keep talking about heathens can be saved. Ain't no camps of heathen. I ain't seen GMS, not GMS, but not GMS, but Sudanese, no camp of Sudanese Israelites out there. You ain't gonna see that, you know. Kwame Yasha Allah, keep your chin up over in China. A group of, you're not gonna see no group of heathen, man. You're not about to see that. So, like, you can pour this word into somebody all you want, but if they're not meant to get it, they're not meant to get it, man. Ain't no, like, out with.
Salaki, I know I'm just walking up, but it made me think that this is proof that it's only for Israel, because you don't see, like, niggas in the Chin Dynasty starting up a camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always like, we gotta let them into what we're doing. You know?
Yep.
Like, okay, y'all believe y'all Israelites too. Why aren't y'all prophesying? Why aren't y'all, you know, making a full-on stand spiritually for Yahweh Shem Yahshua? Y'all just coming here telling us y'all invited too.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. If you are, why aren't y'all in mass or in some type of percentage have a camp? Why you got to come up here and put on garments and come scoff us? Why you got to come in and try to contradict us? Why isn't there a slew of Israelite, so-called, Edomites doing what we're doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Or Hamites or anybody. Why haven't the Spirit hit them? That's it, to have 2 or 3 to go out here and consistently teach the same thing.
Yep.
Okay?
They should be praising Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, it's not for it. And the brother said the key word, the Spirit. That Spirit has not hit him. You know, that Spirit is the key to unlocking the mysteries, understanding, and to keeping those ways and to get to salvation. Without the Spirit, that's why David said that. I pray not that I pray that thou take not thy Holy Spirit from me and cast me not from thy presence, man. Because if you ain't got the Lord and you ain't got the Spirit, you ain't got nothing. There ain't no way you gonna get on no chariot. You know, I think it was this brother said, I'll be a monkey's uncle. No, I think it was more so in the kingdom a while ago. If you see an Edomite and he dressed the same way as you, and he getting the same benefits as you. That don't even make sense.
I'd be out of order. I have to get out of order. I have to get out of order. This nigga ain't supposed to be up. He said none of it. Yeah. But I got a precept. Matthews 13 and 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. And that's even within Israel. So how much more the heathen? All right. The Lord, there's mysteries in His Bible. There's deep dark sayings. There's precept upon. That's why people like vocab call it Hebrew hopscotch, because they can't decode that. They need you to put it. They need to play Scrabble. They don't like playing, that random, random letters, Hebrew letters. What's this Ebonics? So you're gonna demonize it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get down spiritually with us. All right? You can play like you believe, but when it comes down to these mysteries, that's a defining factor on who the Lord's really dealing with. Okay? That's how prophets were acknowledged. Because the scriptures say shit. When the prophet prophesied in my name and it don't manifest, then I have not sent them. Right? We've been telling you about the MOTB and it's manifested. These Christians can't do that unless they concoct the lie. That makes sense. You have to set a bomb in a fucking school and say on Tuesday something gonna happen. That don't count, nigga. Okay? What we've been doing for years, saying what Esau has been doing what the prophets been doing, that's, and Esau can't mimic that. You can go and read the history and say this word means this, and a strong concordance, they could do that. They could do that probably better than most of us. These niggas went in and showed you how the tabernacle was built. And made a 3D, a real life rendition of the tabernacle, of the temple being built. Okay? So they know they can interpret some shit, but they can't interpret the deep, dark sayings, the mysteries.
Exactly.
Okay? And that's why the Lord said he chose the base thing of this world to confound the wise. Because there's no science or theologian school that can give you what the Lord is giving us, which is the Holy Spirit, the inclination. All right? You can have a map. All right? You can say where Texas is. You can say what, but to get directions to go somewhere, that's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit put them lines on there. Turn left on 82nd.
It's the Holy Spirit's the navigator.
Yeah, it's a navigator.
It's like, I forget the other guy, the guy you be talking about, that the dude was in a ship and he going around Africa and all of that. They needed him to
Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, you need a navigator.
You need a navigator.
You can do all of that search. I got the map. Let's go get you need a navigator, man. Y'all got the Bible, but y'all ain't got the Spirit as a navigator.
Y'all like Jack Sparrow, man.
I got a precept.
Yeah, Bible shot.
This is John 16 and verse 13. Howbeit when he, the Spirit of truth, is come,
which is Yahweh Shai. Okay?
He will guide you into all truth.
Yep.
For he shall not speak of himself, but whosoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come.
Yep. So that's the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, was ultimately Yahweh Shai and the minister angels. All right, but it shall show us things to come. It shall guide us about things ahead of time. I don't care how many go to casino. You could go and do all your stats, look up shit, and you can't predict the future. You might get it right, but you genuinely can't predict it.
It's literally a 50-50.
Yeah. Like the fucking Dolphins allowed 800 yards a game and shit. Then you got Derrick Henry. You're like, oh, this easy. Him get 20 yards, Derrick Henry blow a gasket on the way there and shit. That's off. You can't predict that. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like there's Esau think he could calculate everything. He think he could calculate earthquakes. He think he could calculate. He got a doomsday clock. Okay? Try to calculate dances. That's the only way he can interact with life. Because he has no spiritual inclination. You know what I'm saying? The Lord ain't dealing with that nigga, man. All right?
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 3, verse 32. Or is there any other people that knoweth thee beside Israel? Or what generation hath so believed thy covenants as Jacob? And yet their reward appears not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth and think not upon thy commandments.
Yeah, that's what it is today. They got all this money. They're running back and forth. They're out in the suburbs. Okay? Even our own people, when they get up that high, a lot of them don't believe. The further you get, the deeper you get into the Babylonian system, what I mean is the more degrees you get, the more, you know, money you get, the more popularity you get in this society. You know what I'm saying? That's the further away you get from the Most High. All right? And it's not like it. That's what's happened, but like the scripture says, it's easier for a camel go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. So that's already just with money in itself. Then you talking about how Babylon set up how you get money. You got to be wicked as hell, or you got to be worldly as hell. Okay, so that's like a catch-22. You got to be a powerful, immensely strong motherfucker to be a fucking cornerback for a star cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens or something like that, and be out in the open with it. You know, your ass, you know, you Soldier Boy, new artist, and you telling them you're a Hebrew Israelite, you ain't gonna eat no pork tonight. Nigga, crab. What? Huh? You gonna be eating, they gonna put your ass to sleep, gonna be at a Diddy party. That nigga gonna wake up and he gonna wake up at a Diddy party. That nigga gonna be out of jail. You're like, we did it out of jail. Fuck, we had to remix it. We had to do this for you. We gotta break you. You know? Broke him out to break you. Epstein ain't got nothing on me. You go to sleep, ass out. No. No, Diddy. No, Diddy. Last words. All right, so you got the rest of that.
It was some more. It says, "Weigh thou therefore our wickedness down in the balance, and there is also that dwell in the world."
Yeah, I mean, our wickedness is better than their wickedness, but it's saying that we don't be doing that shit that they say, you know, that they be doing. Esau is really way more wicked than, you know, contrary to popular belief, they do more bad things than Jake does. You know, like, and that statement that I made, contrary to popular belief, they're worse than we are, is like it's funny. It's I forget what it's a parody, because it's like everybody will laugh. Everybody give you one of them laughs from it, because it's like it's funny, but it ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody on the planet know that Esau is the one that's pumping all the drugs over here. Okay? This nigga Trump just got on there and said fentanyl is the new weapons of mass destruction.
What are you talking about?
It has killed more than a nuclear missile. Start putting numbers out there and shit. That's how they get the people right there. Oh, it's horrible. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Because the fucking Black Plague killed a lot of people too. You know? But it ain't worse than Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin was doing that by force. Like, Black Plague, you couldn't help yourself. You know what I'm saying? But Joseph Stalin could stop that any time. Okay? Niggas could get off drugs and they'll stop all that shit. Niggas will stop dying immediately. And you stop doing drugs. You know, it's not like if you send a missile and I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to war. And then the missile hits me. They don't do that. They be drawn back. Nah, nigga. It takes two to tango with fentanyl, nigga. You know, with a missile, it's just on one end. So when Esau's out here swinging his sword around, medically, chemically, you know, through weaponry, all right? I've been around for a long time. Yeah. I've been here. I'm from Chicago, but y'all been around for a long time. I respect what y'all doing. Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. Follow you up at Shimon Shah, man. Bro, let the Lord let them be the witness, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, comparison to they ain't gonna say that to Nate and Johanna. They go, oh, so what y'all knew out here? Y'all they so hold us and y'all like give me a flyer. Like, I need to learn about y'all. You know, in 2026.
They ain't gonna never say that to a fleet of Edomites either, because they ain't out here. They ain't
They ain't say that to the Chin Dynasty. Chin and less. Chin in them. Chin in them.
Shit in there.
It says, ooh, shit. I'm racist, man. Yeah, I'll do it again. That was
for educational purposes
only. Hard at all. Yeah,
This is not made for kids.
This is not made for kids.
And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
Yep. And that's a beautiful thing, man. And even when our people are bugged out, doing all that rambling in church and shit like that, they still searching for the Lord, man. Okay? I've been to Catholic churches, man. That just feel like somebody about to die. Not somebody died. It feel like somebody's about to die. Like one of us is one of us up in here. It'd be too fucking quiet. You know, everybody just kneel down, and it's like you kneel down because everybody kneels down. You be spooked out, like everybody know to do this. Like, hold the fuck up. What are y'all doing? I feel like if I bow my head, the nigga gonna get me. Nigga gonna drag me out that bitch. Yeah, Jake was the kind of church to get out in an hour, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Man. So, yeah, an hour. Jake can have you in that bitch for free.
I got free
I got one.
Everybody got a free
Yeah, let's light it up.
All right, this is Daniel 2:46. Says, then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. Remember, this is after he interpreted the dream that he ain't even tell him. It said, the king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your power is the power of all powers, and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing that thou couldst reveal this secret.
Yeah, and that's proof. Because the whole setup was Nebuchadnezzar was prudent. Nah, nigga, I ain't gonna tell you the dream. Yeah. Y'all tell me the dream. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And you can't sit here and be smart and be a psychologist. You did your studies and sit there and tell me your dream, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. Nigga.
Or just make up something.
Yeah, you can make up anything and make it sound good.
That's what he told him. He said, I ain't gonna tell y'all just gonna make up a story.
Yep.
You tell me my dream. Like, you know?
And that proves and Daniel came up with full confidence, man.
Yep.
All right? Yeah, man. The Lord, Moses and the Pharaoh and the Magi's of the Pharaoh, his staff versus their staff. Yep. All right? They got their magic and their tricks, but it's not like the Lord's. Okay? Esau tried to trick you with the the reality of things. He probably stiffen that snake up, put something in him and have him stiff and dead. And then when you slap him on the ground 2 times hard, that nigga wake up. You wake up, start crawling again and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Esau be smoking mirrors, man. Yeah. You know? But the Lord really turned a stick into a snake. That's what it is. And the Lord, same with us. Tell you about things ahead of time without even knowing or having access to the information physically. Yeah. Okay? Esau get on the news, there might be another pandemic. And this nigga in the fucking lab making one. Hey, there might be another pandemic. He's stirring that bitch up. Getting the text, that bitch almost ready. Like, yeah.
He talking about fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, but the jab was a weapon of mass destruction. Y'all creating them. You know, like,
well, fentanyl, it comes from the same lab as where the jab came from. It came from America. Let's look up where the patent of fentanyl. Who owns the patent of fentanyl? Like, come on, man. You gotta follow the fucking brain. Esau is wicked as hell because he could follow your ass. He could follow fucking Marshawn Lattimore from fucking high school all the way to the fucking, you know, the whatever college he went to. You know what I'm saying? Follow fucking Drew Brees from Purdue all the way to fucking, you know, when this dude was fucking rolling and bowling with his dad, how he treated his family. They go all the way back with all that shit. All of a sudden, you can't go back with information to get the truth out. Now you want to go theoretical. If you look at it through this lens, if you look at it through the charger hole and shit.
Check it out through a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, no, man. We're not doing that. Let your yay be yay and nay be nay. So when you check Esau's track record, you're going to start seeing he leaves breadcrumbs, man. Normally it's money or boasting, okay?
It say fentanyl was invented and originally patented by Dr. Paul Janssen, the founder of Janssen Pharmaceutica, a Belgian pharmaceutical company in 1960. the original synthesis method was patented in 1964. It says Janssen Pharmaceutica held the original patent rights, and the company later became a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson in 1963.
There you go. That's your baby powder. That shit that you be smacking on your baby's ass is the same nigga that made fentanyl.
That's crazy.
Probably putting fentanyl in that powder. You know, they probably put fentanyl in a lot of shit right now.
Man.
That Jake don't even know.
Yeah, because you know that they always have their limits. They can put this or put that in there, but just not this amount. It's just a little bit to get, like I said earlier, kill you or get you slowly, whatever, however. You know?
And another angle of demonization towards Esau is that you want to call, you know, fentanyl a war on drugs. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't do the same thing for crack. You know?
That shit fucked up the
man. They had like a war on drugs, but it was a war on the dealers. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like they killing niggas in boats, but it's really I ain't gonna say to me, it's really propaganda. They just want to go to war with Venezuela. That's all it is. They're just trying to justify doing an illegal. This nigga wow, doing an illegal war on Venezuela at no speed. That nigga gonna hurt himself. That he need that helmet. That nigga going downhill. He going somewhere. He going somewhere. He gonna need that helmet. My bad.
That's an expensive helmet to be with it.
That boy, he lean. It's old. Man. That boy gotta keep this shit straight. I got a hella counterbalance.
It's crazy.
It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless.
That's just down to any of their laws and decrees that they've made against our people. You know, like the brother be going into that book, you know, going into the contraceptions and the Planned Parenthood and all you got your child support laws, and how the hell motherfucker gotta pay for a kid that ain't even like they have cases like that. If you still paying for the child, nigga, all right, fuck it. Since you already paying, we just keep you paying. No, that's not fuck that kid. You know what I'm saying?
That's the rule. Like I pay child to support my child. It ain't my child, so I don't support it. You know? So who pay child support when that baby's born in jail and shit, man? Do the government pay for it or what? You know what I'm saying? Pay for the prisoner and shit. You know? Esau just he rests his judgment, man. He's horrible with judgment. He'll sit there and concoct something. You know, everybody show up at this time. If you show up at this time, you're on time. If you show up anything past that, you're late. And you're gonna get penalized. Then he'll let his homie in. You know, and break the fucking rule. You know? Now we got grace. So it's like technically the same thing works for on the Lord's side. The Lord allowed Jake to break rules. Okay? And we was going over that as of recent. You know what I'm saying? When you was sitting with the Feast of Tabernacles. I mean the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, there is a rule that says we're supposed to meet out in Israel 3 times a year. All right? That is the rule. But what the hell are you going to do in Cambodia? You on the internet, you wake up, you know what I'm saying? Well, if you ain't got no money. So when has your righteousness been depicted off of the lining of your pockets? That was the same problem that Jake was going through with the Israelites and the Gentiles when they were trying to get them circumcised. You know what I'm saying? It's like, stop putting burdens on them that they can't even focus on what's at hand, which is belief.
Yeah.
Okay? He believes. He's gonna get it. He's gonna work his way there. Like, goddamn, nigga. Like, give Jake some room.
Got the weightier matters, man.
Yeah. Which is mercy, grace,
mercy, judgment, and faith.
Yeah. Mercy, judgment, and faith, man. You know, those are and that's a weightier matters, meaning that's something that you're supposed to put heavy attention on. If a brother's faith is wavering,
like
then you're supposed to say, let's hold counsel. We got to get this together. The congregation's faith is lacking.
yeah.
All right? They're unmerciful. Somebody just did something. Yeah, it was off, but he just chopped his fucking head off, man. You know, that dude didn't know no better. That's all he knew. He just grew up as a thief.
And then judgment. Oh man, you see that? You see that going on now, man.
Nepotism, favoritism, respect of persons. You're not supposed to rest judgment, man. You're supposed to be able to, the rules saying you're unmerciful and shit. Okay? Those are weighty matters on how to treat another human being, bro, because that's what the Lord created this earth for.
Yeah. Yep.
For human beings walking back and forth through this motherfucker interacting.
Yep.
And he created laws so that we could keep peace with each other while we're interacting. It ain't meant to oppress somebody else. Somebody stressed out when they walk out through the day.
It's to be fair.
I'm in the truth. I believe. All right? Because, like, the same argument was with Abraham. Niggas forgot about that. I'm going to say niggas, but don't forget about that. Because Abraham said what? Not Abraham, but what the scripture says Abraham was counted righteous without the laws, man. It was counted righteous through faith. Okay? So faith is the initiator, but you got to have works. So you got to keep the laws to your best abilities. And what happens is people get too, because they don't have no moral compass. Okay? I'm trying to put it into words, but they have no moral compass. All right? I forget the word. There is a word that's coming to mind. It's like pure or something, like it's like one of them words.
Morals?
Like righteous. It's like one of them words that go back to like moral compass. Virtue. Yeah, they have no virtue, man. They don't have no ability to look at a situation, man. Let that man live, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have no enough to say, hey, stop talking like that and stand up for something. But knowing that I can get killed for this and say, hey, that ain't right. They don't got that ability.
Yeah, they who's that? Tobit, he had virtue. He was out burying them. So what if the king, I just duck off real quick, but I gotta bury my people, man. I can't even eat my food right now. I gotta go, you know what I'm saying? That's virtue, man.
Yeah, keeping the rules does not make you morally competent, man. Okay? And that was the problem. People let you read your oxen of this, like, oh, sorry, the rules are the rules. Yeah. It's like, bro, it's my only oxen. It's how I live every day. Like, are y'all fucking serious? You know what I'm saying? And you feel so fucking, you feel like cheated, man. You feel like helpless and cheated when somebody do you that. You get with a phone company and they fucking you over, and they tell you like, nigga, you gotta eat that shit.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do? Go to another company? It's like the other, like, Cash App got me out like some money, man, some bread. And I'm like, I gotta call them and shit, but if they tell me, fuck off, I ain't got no money to get no lawyer. I gotta eat that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta eat that shit. They can just do that, low key. Hey, eat a dick, nigga. Like, we voted that you'll get your money back and it's over with. Same thing like they do with our videos. They'll cut your video off. You can't just do nothing, nigga. You try to type back and have an argument with a nigga like, yo, don't cut my videos out there. Why you cut my, and then they'll just cut it for no reason. You know what I'm saying? They say you did what? Violated the community guidelines.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you what exactly that you did. They'll say a vague code. You're yelling in a small premise. They're like something fucking weird. Hateful, discriminative speech. Meanwhile, you got a bitch rotating her pussy on it and a center cam on your ass on there. Like doing all kind of madness on YouTube, but Jake can't talk about the Jabberwock. Talk about it. It ain't like I'm waving it around, stumping on it. You know what I'm saying? Burning flags and shit. Like we're not doing none of that, but we're the.
I can't warn anybody about it. That's just horrible.
Yeah, that's enough. I heard enough. I've seen and I heard enough. Like all this shit on YouTube, the prophets is you can't stand, you know, anything that wakes people up to interacting with the truth.
They got a movie coming out, and in this movie is based in a like a call center looking situation, and their job is to look at videos and censor certain videos. Not to question or none of that, because you had it to where in the trailer, one of them started questioning and she started investigating and doing all this other. And the lady was just like, look, your job is to cancel it and censor it. That's it. You know? And I'm like, they probably got some shit like that for sure. You know, it's got people watching it. Then, you know, then of course now you got the AI, you know, but it just goes to show you they don't want you to be speaking on nothing, man.
They got everybody so fucking bored that anybody will do that job and destroy their own fucking citizens.
Yep.
Just to get their paycheck.
Yep.
That's great, though. That's capitalism. Separate everybody and have them all fight to the top. But you ain't gonna never make it because I'm gonna keep on throwing soap on the slide. You know what I'm saying? But y'all will never work together, so y'all never stop me. I'm in your face for the soap. That motherfucker. But y'all too individualize and say, hey, bro, you fucking cheat. You know, one person might get up a little, he might got a strategy, he get up a little higher, so he don't care about the rest of everybody else.
Yeah, instead of
saying, you know what, bro, I ain't, man, fuck that, you know, I know how to get up higher than y'all, I ain't doing this shit.
like, fuck this game. You know,
That's right, let's get y'all.
Knock that motherfucker over here. Fuck this slide.
Yeah, fuck that slide. You know what I'm saying? But now you on our level. Yup, and that's what Esau is really terrified of. And that's why he censors truth. Especially with that Jabberwocky, because everybody sees it, but he'll stop you from speaking on it. Medical misinformation. So now you don't speak on it, they tell you on the news what it is, and nobody's speaking to the opposite, so eventually you're going to low-key accept it or forget about the opposition. Okay?
100%.
Yep, I'm sure.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate.
Yeah, that's them trying to attack the prophets, man. All right? They're laying a snare for our words, okay? Even our own people do it, calling us pedophiles and things like that. You know, bearing false witness, breaking the fuck out the laws, man. Like, breaking it. You're bearing false witness. It tells you don't run with a multitude to do evil, and it tells you don't bear false witness against your neighbor. Don't be a talebearer. You know what I'm saying? It tells you that. But you sitting here saying, oh, yeah, GMS is a bunch of pedophiles and rapists. Yeah. Like, under what? That's, if we were of the world, we could sue you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay? Like, we can literally sue you. We can get all your videos and then sue you for defamation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how blatant our own people doing that shit, man. You know, judgment is important. You know, judgment is important, bro. Somebody with power could fuck your life up, okay? Or make your life easy as hell. We deal with it all the time at work. We got 2 different judges, bro. And the one set is the word. It's like fuck, bro. Other set is like, I get through my day by laughing and shit.
Yeah, bro.
2 different situations, man. Okay, so judgment is important, man. And Esau is horrible at it. That's why when the wicked rule, people mourn, man. Because he's writing decrees and putting out judgments. This nigga creating fentanyl, selling it, getting everybody on it, and then blowing up boats to go to war with somebody